So good evening, y'all. We are here tonight because we got something exciting that Toya and I are doing. We've been partners for a long time in business, at least 7 years. And 7 years, seven is the year of what? Not the year of grace, the year of completion, right? And so this year we decided to do something together as partners, and that is to launch a brand new podcast called Unfiltered Tea with Citi and Cheryl. And so tonight we just coming on here just to have conversation. Toya is literally one of my best friends, right? Because I got a couple of best friends. And so we have conversations all the time. And we was talking earlier. I said, Toya, we need to go live and let's finish that conversation that we was talking about earlier today. And so as you guys come into the room, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And while y'all do that, I'm gonna let Toya open up and say something. And I'm about to fix my tea, right? So again, I said, what is this? Unfiltered tea with Citi and Cheryl, right? And so we have some new amazing tea that's called the Core Cleanse Tea. And I like to take mine at nighttime before it's time for me to go to bed so I can sleep absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna shut up and let Toya go ahead and talk. Go ahead, talk, Toya.
While she's pouring that tea, the funny thing is, things work differently for different people because she was like, "You don't want to drink yours tonight," and I was like, "No," because it has given me a burst of energy, and I don't know if maybe I just have these pre-planned naps on the weekend or certain times of the day, and I tried to take a nap this weekend, and just because it was in my head that I needed to take a nap. And because I drank the tea, because you're supposed to drink it before your largest meal of the day. I don't eat late
Mhm.
at night large meals. So I had mine in the afternoon time. But when it came down to take my nap, my like, what else can we look at? So I could not sleep. But for her, she's sleeping like a baby. For me, I was tossing and turning and tossing. So it works
Baby.
for different people, but I have had so much natural energy, and probably because I have been extremely exhausted and had to go to a doctor because of my iron levels being low, like extremely low, come back abnormal, and getting all these different supplements. And then I stopped taking them when I started doing the tea, and I realized the changes. I haven't
Mhm.
taken anything since then. I have been just fine. Mental clarity. I'm up. I almost don't even need my alarm clock.
Girl, who you telling?
I'm not, I'm not gonna chance it because I've been sleeping mighty hard. So I'll be in there looking crazy. Yeah, and excuses.
But yeah, but no, but you do like so as we were testing, because I was a beta tester with the team. And as we were testing, we realized like different people's schedules, sometimes they need to take it earlier in the day. Because I know one person say, well, I think I take it better at lunchtime versus nighttime because of that reason, because it gives me energy as well. But sometimes like when I take it late, I'd be like sleepy. So I don't know. But either way it go, Cheryl gonna sleep good tonight. Okay. I'm gonna sleep real good. And I thank the Lord for it. All right. So on tonight, you
Hey, Cheryl.
guys.
Cheryl, I have one that's trying to tune in is saying create an account. I'm trying to see if we can how am I getting this to her.
Do they
Make
have a
sure that
Facebook
you're
account?
yes.
Hmm. Tell her to send me a friend request right quick. Because that's the only thing I can think of. We trying to figure this thing out, y'all. Thank y'all for your patience. You want me to send you my profile, sis?
Yeah, send it to me real quick.
Okay. Tell her to send me a friend request real quick. We coming, y'all. while we trying to figure this out right quick, y'all let us know how y'all day was in the comments if you hadn't already. Hey, LaRoyal, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Miss Diane, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Miss Vanessa, thank you so much for joining on tonight. We appreciate you guys for joining on tonight. We just trying to make sure one other person that was supposed to be tuning in tonight is able to tune in. Okay, did she send it, sis?
I'm going to see. I sent it to her.
Yeah, I haven't got notification yet. All right, so while we doing that,
Go ahead and get started. We don't have to hold it up. I can see my phone.
okay, all right. So while we're waiting on that, you guys. So what is unfiltered tea with Citi and Cheryl? So it's just casual conversation, right? Me and Toy, we talk about a little bit of everything. And so we just wanted to just bring that conversation online because a lot of things we talk about, other people talk about it as well. And then sometimes people don't have those conversations. And so the conversations that we have, it be very enlightened. And sometimes people need to hear that type of conversation. And so it's not fluff when we talk. We just be talking. We girlfriends, right? We're sisters, and we can talk like we can have real genuine conversation. And so, today we was talking about just like the mindset, like people mindset, and then like our mindset, like when our mindset really shifted. And so I know for me, my mindset really shifted when I got out of a comfortable environment, when I moved from Louisiana to Texas, very much out of my comfort zone. I knew nobody in Texas when I moved. Okay, I see it. I knew nobody in Texas when I came to Texas. Okay, there you go. I knew nobody in Texas when I moved here. And so it really allowed me to get outside of my comfort zone because when things didn't go the way that I desired for them to go, I didn't have anybody to run to. Right. And so, like your environment is just so important. And that allowed me to be stretched when I was not around a familiar place that I was not that I knew my whole life, right? And then we all was also talking about like some people never travel outside of where they're born. They never travel outside of where they're born. And so when they don't get a chance to travel, they never know what's out there in the world. They never know um the possibilities of what can happen if they go outside of where they were born, right? So, Toy, you want to chime in? Can you hear me, Toy?
I do. As we were talking about that, both of us being from Louisiana, me, Lake Charles, you, Baton Rouge. And one of the things I was saying is being from a small, Lake Charles is not a small town, but it is a small town. And typically, if you're looking for something different back when I was, it sounds weird to say back in the day, but when I was growing up, if we moved, you typically moved from Lake Charles, you might have gone to Lafayette, then you went to either New Orleans or Baton Rouge, somewhere like that. You might have gone to Shreveport. And I said, as big as any of those cities were, they were still small because you would typically run into one of those circles, in one of those cliques somewhere in one of those cities, and you can pretty much get comfortable with being in that type of environment and the mindset for sure. I can truly remember even just opportunity wise, we talked about opportunity, and I worked for a retail company for a large number of years, and I'll just it's I worked for Walgreens for a long time, and the amount of time that it took me struggling trying to get my own store because there was a management program to get my own store, and just years of going and being these people's mule and going from store to store, doing the work and cleaning up these stores and getting them back in shape, striving for a store, I saw that it was never going to happen. And because I remember my manager at the time, she said, "Why would I promote you? Who's going to do my work?" And so from there, I was like, wow. So when she said that, I had to figure out something quickly. And I moved to Houston and I got a store. Now, mind you, I've been doing that for years, struggling, trying to get my own store. And I got to Houston and got one in 6 months. But it made me think about Les Brown, and I'm gonna say this because in 2006 is when I became accustomed to Les Brown, motivational speaker. Right, he is my favorite, and he said it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be
Won't be
prepared.
prepared.
And so I took that and I put that in my back pocket. Took that, put it in my back pocket, and that was a bit of wisdom that I carried with me for a while. And so from that time, in order to have your own store, you had to be a certified pharmacy technician because you go to Walgreens and when you go to Walgreens or any pharmacy store, pharmaceutical store, it's not about the candy in front or the stuff that you buy in there. The pharmacy is the moneymaker, right? But so if you're a store manager, if your store shut down, let's say everybody call out for Christmas, people still come in there to get their medication. You can shut the front part of the store down, but you better not shut that pharmacy down. And so if it's just you and a pharmacist because everybody shuts down, you got to be able to count those pills and let the pharmacist do what they're going to do. And you can ring up and you're going to be the technician, right? And so I had to get that done early in order to get my store. And so all these years certified pharmacy tech and qualified for a store, but never had one. But when I got to Houston, I was qualified, where other people were still trying to take the test. I was already qualified. So I superseded them with an opportunity because I was prepared for an opportunity that I didn't have years prior. So it's definitely better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
Yeah, I agree. Because same thing for me. So when I moved to from Baton Rouge to Texas, like I moved because I was at the height of where I could be in the place of employment that I was working. I remember very vivid, like it happened yesterday. I applied for a management position and I had been at the company 4.5 years and I was already at the highest that I could probably go. The next level would be management in that particular role. And the lady just flat out said, I wasn't ready. And I'm like, well, what do you mean I'm not ready? I was ready. I met all my tiers. I was at the highest of the highest when it comes to customer service, all of those different things. She just didn't want me in that position. She wanted somebody else in that position. And so, I made a decision there. Look, you're not going to tell me what I'm worth. Right. And so I started to look for something different. I actually found another job in Baton Rouge and I left that company, but I had the opportunity to go to Texas. And when I had the opportunity to go to Texas, it was definitely in an unfamiliar territory for me, right? Like I told you guys, I knew nobody in Texas when I moved to Texas, but I took a chance on myself, right? Because I wanted something different. I knew that I had great on the inside of me, and I applied for a position that I had never even done before. I can say that now because that was years ago, right? I applied for a position that I'd never done before, and I faked it until I made it, and I got in that position, and I was a top salesperson in that position and not even doing it before. But I took a chance, right? I took a chance on me. I betted on me. Y'all, I still lived in Baton Rouge when I got that interview and the guy was so impressed that I drove all the way to Texas for an interview because it was in Beaumont, right? So from Baton Rouge to Beaumont was like 2.5 hours. I say it's nothing. I hop on the road. And I never really drove out of the state of Louisiana like that. Before I moved to Texas, I really didn't. And so I got on that road, I went on that interview, and I talked a good game because guess what? I can back it up with my action, right? And I talked that game and I backed up and I got that job. And it was 3 times as much as I was making in Baton Rouge. Okay. That alone, 3 times as much as what I was making in Baton Rouge, because I took an opportunity because it was there, and I took a chance on myself, bet it on me. A lot of times we don't bet on ourselves. We was talking about this earlier. We always say, what's the worst that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? Your life can absolutely change if you just bet on yourself, right? So sis, that's how it happened for me. And ever since when I was working a job, because I thank God, right? I thank Jesus that I've been full-time entrepreneur for the last 3 years. But when I was working a job, I just was not complacent on any job because I always know that, look, I'm worth more than this. And if it's another opportunity out there, there's a better opportunity for me to be able to expand my horizon, to expand my skill set, to expand whatever it is that I need to take on and learn, then I'm going to do it. Because my mama, it was baffling for her. It was baffling for her for me to keep getting a different job. Like, you already making good money. What you mean quitting the job and go to the next job? Because, because, you want to know why? Them people don't care about us. Them people are not loyal to us. So why should I be loyal to them? Right? And so if somebody else want to pay me what I'm worth, then I'm gonna go where I am celebrated and not tolerated and get what I'm worth. So I see your little mouth going, sis. Go ahead. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say. Go ahead, girl.
That got my attention for sure, and got me winding up.
Go
Popping
ahead.
out
Go
the
ahead. Go
jackpot. Because like you said, knowing your worth. And so I am a 9 to 5 aspiring entrepreneur coach, helping people that do currently have their job right now understand that you can earn additional streams of income and just get them into that place of awakening to know that there is more. But there's a thing called discipline and
Mm-hmm.
consistency that is required. You see, sometimes people, when you have if you're all over the place though, you can do that in a job because guess what? That job, you go in trying to figure out which one is going to be the next one that's going to pay you the most money because you got to pay your bills and you're not being loyal to them. You're loyal to your family and you know what bills you need to pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a job like they're never going to pay you what you're worth ever. And then if you have the audacity to ask for a raise or propose one, now things start getting weird. And then they're gonna start having attitude with you to let you know what you hadn't done and well why and they're gonna figure out ways to let you know why you shouldn't get it and why you shouldn't, all these different things like that. That's when you really see people's for who they really are, when you start asking them for more, you know. Then they kind of the posture changes, the demeanor changes, like, well, who are you to think that we should be paying you this when our company is this? And they're gonna start breaking all that down, care nothing about all that. You know, as a 9 to 5, I work my job because the job pays my bills, but my business is going to afford me a lifestyle. And so the business will pay you what you will for what you are worth, excuse me, what you're worth because you're going to work hard. You have the discipline and consistency, then you can get paid way beyond what you could ever dream of or imagine at a job. And so what I do is I spend my time because God has me in a season of working with those that want to work with me to build underground to develop that discipline and consistency to get to the place where you really understand that you are worth more because people we have become conditioned to thinking if you make 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, we have become conditioned. What the job tells you is this is what you can afford to eat, this is where you can afford to live, this is where you what you're worth, this is what kind of clothes you can wear, this is what you can do, and if you want to if you can go on vacation once every couple years, because people that are bound like that can only do a few things every so often. If they save a little bit here, save some more next year, get your income tax, and then you can go on a nice little cruise and you come back and you broke and you got to start the thing all over again. But if you understand having a job pays your bills, and then you have your business that can afford your lifestyle until you can be disciplined enough to be full time. I'm okay with telling my story of I quit when I quit and I was doing entrepreneurship. I've been in the business as well for quite a while, right? since 2007 of entrepreneurship, and had an opportunity of 2 years of full-time entrepreneurship, but I lacked discipline and consistency. I
Yeah.
lacked that because
Hmm.
what happened was when I quit my job, it was almost like this is a vacation now. Anybody holding me accountable? I can take a nap as long as I want. You mean I can sleep in
As
today?
long as you want.
Pay for a sofa and I'm gonna sit on and enjoy this sofa, right?
Enjoy
So
that stuff.
I was doing all those things, running different errands and not working my business. And then I had to go back to the plantation.
Mm,
And
mm,
I
mm.
Master was like this, come on in here, gal. Thought you was going somewhere, huh, gal? Get on in here and make me some biscuits.
Hmm. What was that guy named Mama Django? Samuel L. Jackson. He played. Mm.
I hate
Like, come
jobs.
on in here. Get these biscuits made. High yellow.
I hate it because that's what that's what what the people that are above you kind of feel they are. They feel like they are superior to you, and they they feel like they're superior to you, and they can talk to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, because in their mind they think that you don't know that you're worth more. They think that you have to be subjected to what they tell you, and I
Hmm.
see it all. You have to have a plan, and knowing what you're worth, and like you said too, what if it works? Remember we talked about this earlier. I said some people be like you leaving or quitting the job. What if blah blah blah? Hey, what if it does work? So many people concerned about what if this happened, what if that happened. But what if it does work? The glass. Some people see the glass half full. Some see it half empty. It just depends on the vision that you have.
Hmm.
Me and you might see it two different ways.
Joe
And so
Mike.
at the end of the day, it's up to, or you probably can't see it, but is it half full or half empty?
Hmm.
Whatever you say is what it's gonna be, right?
Hmm.
So I hand
I'm
it over
with you.
to you. We're gonna
I'm with
bounce
you
back
though.
and there's a laugh. Y'all know by now my personality. I can't
Well, the
the
Facebook
job.
it lags behind. But yeah, but no, I'm with you though. And it really boils down to your mindset and like your environment. Who you hang around is so important. Because like I remember when I got ready to move, I had so many people was like, "You sure that's what you want to do?" I'm like, "I'm sure that's what I want to do. If it don't work out, I'll figure it out. I'll pivot. I'll figure out what to do if that don't work out." Because what happened was in my life, right? Sometimes they have things that happen and it really makes you think. And for me, it was the death of my 20-year-old cousin. And
Mhm.
so that was almost 19 years ago. Well, it was 19 years ago. In 2007, he passed away. She was 20 years old. She did not die in an accident. She died in her sleep. And of course, when it's a home death like that, they do have to have an autopsy. And she died from natural causes, which means one of her organs stopped working properly. And so that just really opened up my eyes to like, life is really short.
Yeah.
Life is really short. Like, is this the life that I want? Is this all to life, right? And so, like, what's the possibilities there? And so when I had the opportunity and it came open, say yes. I'll say yes because it was something different. And I was tired of being in the same stagnant place, right? And I was tired of going back and forth and doing the same thing. Because at that point, I was in my mid 20s and I had to move down my mama house at least two, three times. And I did. I just got tired of moving back and forth, move out, then move back in the house. And so that was the crutch that was there, right? It was the crutch that was there with my mother.
Mhm.
Of course, she was always going to be there to support, always going to be there to catch me. but I had to let go of the crutch in order to really grow, in order to really expand. And so your environment, it really, really matters because her mindset too was like, you're not scared to do that? Like, you're not going to have no help? I'll figure it out. People move out of town all the time with no family. I will figure it out because I knew deep down inside that something else was out there for me, right? And I'm thankful and grateful that we did move and that we did take the leap because a few years later, when we first moved to Texas, we were in Beaumont, but we left Beaumont and moved to Dallas. My daughter got sick, and we were in the place where we needed to be, where the doctors that would be able to help in that specialty for the cancer that she had, which was retinoblastoma, which is eye cancer, they were there. And we were in the place where we needed to be because if we were in Baton Rouge, it would have been a whole nother ball game, whole nother ball game. And so I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And we have to really, one, seek God. And did I seek God? I prayed about it, but I didn't wait to hear on God. I didn't. It was a Cheryl thing. It was something that I wanted to do. And if I could be honest, it was just something that I wanted to do. I did not wait for no confirmations. I did not. I asked God. I didn't wait for no confirmation because God could have been like, nope, you gonna move, but this ain't the time. And we gonna talk about that on another episode, you know. With us doing stuff that we want to do and was like, okay, did I consult God? I might have consulted him, but I ain't wait to hear back from him. And so I'm just thankful and grateful that I did not allow my mother's limited mindset in that moment or the people that I was surrounded by limited mindset of that moment because when I moved to Texas, it just really opened up so much, so much. So
Mhm.
environment matter. The people that you hang around, it matters as well. Thank you so much, Miss Vanessa. She said, I'm loving the unfiltered tea.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. You have
you know how it
conversations
is.
that realize that people need to hear. It's like, dang, if we could just say that again, it's just not gonna make sense if we go and just randomly say it now. But she said, oh, 2,000 miles away with my two boys in my 20s. California, no family. Wow. Miss Vanessa been hopping them planes. Miss
She
Vanessa
been
been,
been on them roads, baby. Been taking
yes,
chances. That's
I
why we
love it.
love Miss Vanessa.
Love it. Yes, you have to take a chance. I have always known, and I have to say this, when you are a child, because um because you've been with you forever, clearly, you know when you are different. You know when there's greatness on the inside of you. But there are people, like say environment, there are people that are designed, and you learn all these things later. It's like when 40 years old hit, that's when God really, I'm not say God came into my life. That's when I came to Him. You say, draw
Yes,
nigh to me,
Lord.
and He'll draw nigh to you. And so at 40 is when I really started seeking God differently. Didn't It's not that I didn't know God, that I didn't pray, but like you said, you ask a question, but you don't wait for an answer because you
I
have a
sought
haste.
the Lord.
Yeah, yeah, don't start that.
And he heard, and he answered.
She Proverbs every week, so don't even listen to her. You can throw me off. Nah, like I said, you better make me forget what I
I'm
was saying.
sorry.
You better
I'm
remember what was I saying.
sorry you was thinking about something the Lord. When you made your 40s, when you got into your 40s,
Yes.
you found God. Go ahead.
Anyway, I sought him, and getting closer to him helped me to see some things differently for myself. You still made me forget what I was trying to say.
Sorry.
See, this is why this unfiltered, because a different part of me would have said something else to her, but I can't because I don't want to be blocked or banned off of this thing.
Please don't get us blocked up ahead.
Hey,
Go
what was
ahead.
I
I'm
saying?
sorry. I'm gonna shut up. I'm a
Yeah.
hush.
What were we talking about? You talked about taking chances, right?
Yes, but you said, and you was talking about seeking God, like when you hit 40, it's something about when you hit 40,
Yeah,
right?
but what did you
And you,
say prior to that?
huh, prior to that, I was just saying that, we can seek God. I sought God, but I didn't wait to hear back. It was what I decided to do, what I wanted to do. I was doing what Cheryl wanted to do.
I think I was along the lines of saying I've done the same thing, but when you have a hasty spirit and when you do have a hasty spirit and you do what you want to do, then things don't work out the way that they really should work out. And then you end up like an Israelite taking lap after lap after lap. Yeah, you may have some small wins in there, but you're going to have to actually take some laps until lessons are really learned. Because I truly wanted to I wanted to go to New York. I wanted to go to LA. I wanted to go all these different places. Now I did go different places and I moved. One of the main places that I moved was Houston. I've gone to Baton Rouge. I moved to Houston because this is where I want to be because the opportunities are so much better here. And I'm glad I took a chance because yes, parents sometimes they feel like they want the best for you. So they like to shelter you and keep you close. But we know that prayer has no distance. It has absolutely no distance. So
None.
hey, if they were to understand, even I come to we said even like them sometimes would have taken better chances on themselves. You know, I know my dad was an entrepreneur. My dad had that mindset. He was a dreamer. Not so much my mom. She's just was that 9 to 5er, and that was just her path. But for him, I think I got that energy from him to decide to do that. Um, you definitely have to. When you said, I'm trying to think what you just said. I just want to cuss you out, but I can't cuss.
You can tell me something very flavorful without cussing. Okay.
I
Okay.
know she cut my off, and this is the type of stuff that we go through. Put it in the chat or something because anyway, go ahead. I'll pick up on something else that you got to say. I'll just tap in.
Well, tap in, tap, tap. Tap, tap, gonna have you tapping in. But no, y'all, ultimately at the end of the day, you got to take chances, but your environment, it really does matter. Like the people that you hang around, it really does matter. One of the things that Patricia Parker used to say, and that was my mother, birds of a feather flock together, right? And so the people that you hang around, it matters. I always like to use this analogy. It might not be a good analogy, right? But if you hang around four people that's a crackhead or four people that might be alcoholics that have nothing going for themselves, guess what? You're going to be that fifth person, no matter how positive you may be, because you're in that environment, and your environment you will be conducive to the environment if you continue to stay around that environment. But if you get around four people that has something going for them, four people that are immersed in becoming the best version of themselves, four people, right, that has a mindset of entrepreneurship, business, expansion, and it might not even be business. It might be going to college or whatever that thing is something different. Tell you, I'm stop looking at you. It's something different.
Miss Vanessa, we can put you ready. Miss Vanessa, you see
something,
it? Miss Vanessa,
it's
you
something.
supposed to be listening to tell me where I was at because
I know, right?
y'all
Something different,
starting early.
right? Then you're gonna be like that person. You're going to aspire to be like that person because that's who you're around. So your environment matters. And so as you continue to evolve and become, you understand that. And I'm just thankful and grateful for personal growth and development because that is what allowed me to be able to be this version of me in this day and time. Because guess what? I wasn't always like this. I was a teen mom. And we'll talk about that in other episodes and life lessons and stuff like that. But it's just your environment matters. Those things matter. And so I'm gonna see if Toy, you want to add to that. We're way over our 20 minutes because we used probably about 10, 15 minutes of that trying to make sure we can log on and get everything going where everybody can see the broadcast on tonight. But we just wanted to give you guys a raw taste of unfiltered tea with Citi and Cheryl, right? Unfiltered tea with Citi and Cheryl. So I'm gonna let Toya do some closing remarks, and I'm going to add in our comments our
Hey,
YouTube.
about to say what I want to say now.
Miss
If you
Vanessa
tired,
says
well. If you tired, oh well. Now,
go ahead. Go ahead,
so
talk.
talking about, I got it now. Environment matters. It does. Y'all, this is an everyday back and forth, forwards and backwards, backwards and forwards. So listen, environment really does matter. Like when she said about when you are around certain people, and I'm not knocking any of my family and friends and none of that. This is not a
Me either.
public jam, anything like that. But it is a very you have to, call a thing at times. And so if you're around people that are always negative, that always looking at everything in a fearful manner, then that's the life that you're going to end up living, right? That's what, thank you, Holy Spirit. I know what I was saying. I knew that I was different when I was coming up. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So I knew that growing up that I was different. I knew that I was destined for greatness and I had it on the inside of me. But what happens is when you're around certain people and they see that light shining on the inside of you, they will start to make you question who you really are. And so sometimes you can dim your light back and come back because you're like, okay, number one, you're in an environment where people they have that spirit ruling over them that's like, hey, whoever did that before, who do you know that can be that and do that? And so they start making you question that you are the person that God has showed you. So you back. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone. Not sometimes, but all the time. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your way and truly let God lead you. And that's what I was getting into as far as like when I came to Christ differently, because I was raised in the church. And I was raised in the church my entire life, being in there Sundays, you got Sunday school at 9 o'clock, then you got 11 o'clock service, and here we go with somebody anniversary. I don't know them. I don't want to go to nobody anniversary and all these different things. Stockings are making me itch. Girl.
Think we all
No.
had like the same type of church experience because baby, we had fourth Sunday anniversaries.
So you make a vow, your parents in church, y'all. That's why Tamala man said I'm all churched out. Yes, girl, I ain't going to vote. And so then one day you've been going through life the way you want to go through life and hitting your head, making all these different mistakes and becoming like an Israelite where a 11-day trip took you 40 years. And so then I came to 40 years old and I'm like, okay, God, hey, I'm tapping out because I need something different, right? I need something different. And so me stepping out of my comfort zone and getting into a different environment, coming to Christ differently, allowed me to be able to do some things differently. And it's not as hard as it had been in the past. And so that's why
Mm-hmm.
I was going with it. Yes, you gotta change your environment. You really, really do. Because when you're around people, like I think I'm allergic to poor-minded people. I'm not gonna say poor people because
Mm-hmm.
I poor constantly. I'm allergic to poor-minded people. It just irks me to the core. When I say it irks me to the core, it just irritates my soul because you can tell people, you know how they old folk always say, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him
You
drink.
can't make them drink. Mm-mm.
When it comes to a poor-minded individual, you could be telling this person, listen, let me show you how to eat. Let me show you how to eat for a lifetime. See, when they say you give a man a fish, he gonna eat for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he gonna eat for a lifetime. See, a
Lifetime.
poor-minded people don't want you to teach them how to fish. They want you to keep giving them every day. Hey, I'm not your daily bread, baby. God said he'll give you your daily bread if you learn that in the word and ask him. I'm not your daily bread. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you, according to Matthew 6 and 33. Now,
Mm-hmm.
back to that. People with a poor mindset will never see the opportunity that is being presented to them. They see it as, okay, you changing, you acting
Mm-hmm.
funny. Oh, who she thinks she is. I think I'm the head, not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I don't know who you think you are because you clearly think that you are subjected to not having more, that you're subjected to lack, that you're subjected to begging and borrowing. I'm a lender and not a borrower. I'm above and not beneath. I'm the head and not the tail.
Mm,
That's
mm,
when
mm.
your environment. When you really change your environment and then you change your environment in God, then you can start operating the way that God's principles are. When you change your environment and you can start enjoying the fruits of your labor. You
That
start
part.
applying principles. You don't stay bound to no slave mindset or being stuck at a job that is treating you a certain way. I'm not knocking jobs either because I like what I do. I'm not gonna say I love what
Absolutely. Mhm,
I like what I do because I'm a trainer and I enjoy training people. There are people out there. We need people to have jobs. You need nurses to save you
mhm.
when you're stupid and you nearly on death, you're on your deathbed, or you need them when it's accidental. You need somebody
Or
to
you
fly
didn't
the
cut your
plane.
finger halfway off.
And the guy, yeah, you need somebody to fly the plane. You need somebody to check you into the hotel. You need somebody to cook your food. We
Mhm.
need jobs are necessary. So I'm never gonna knock a job. Jobs are necessary. But if you are looking for something totally different and you want more, then you got to step outside of your comfort zone and say, hey, listen, it's gonna pay my bills for right now. But if I tap into something different and I see there's a better opportunity out there, if I just work just a little bit harder, if I just stay up a little bit later, if I do just a little more studying, if I tap into some personal growth and development, if I get into a different mindset, if everybody doing the same old thing over and over and over again, and they get the same results, that's insane. I don't care if it's in the church or if it's at the job, if it's in your family. If you look around and everybody poor in their mindset and financially, you better get out of Dodge. Get out. This is
Better
your
run.
confirmation. Get out of there. Because you
Far as
can't sit
run.
in that type of stuff and think that you're going to ever have the desires of your heart. God came to give us life and life more abundantly, not for us to be in a begging, borrowing, impoverished state. And so we're saying that I'm coming to a close with what I'm saying is environment matters. And if you don't get out of an environment that is smothering you or is toxic or is draining or is dangerous, money comes before destruction. You're going to have a situation that you're not going to be comfortable with and happy with at all. And so take this right now as an opportunity to say, hey, is the environment that I'm in something that is it conducive to me winning, or is it causing me to stay in a place of stagnation and delay? Ask yourself that question. I'm a real and raw coach, so sometimes people can't handle me. Sometimes they can't handle the aggression. Oh, well, I'm here to help pull people out of the spirit of procrastination and also teach people not to have a hasty spirit as well. And I'm grounded in God and I'm grounded in the principles. And I test God, hey, because it ain't no need for me to serve him if he ain't if what he offering ain't what's up, right?
One plus
I
one ain't
tried
equal to.
better. I'm still a work in progress. I still got a lot of things to do. Every time I try thing, evil still coming around. It still be like, girl, Cheryl almost made me have to. Well, I had to remember that you can't bless and curse at the same time. So I had
You
to,
cannot.
had
So
repent, to repent and not well. So yeah, change your environment, get around people, you put a different environment, people making some money, doing some things differently. You start looking at people a little different, not looking down at them, but you start seeing like, what, still doing the same old thing. Like it's just like when you go to a high school reunion and you see somebody still working at Burger King and y'all was working at it, you got that job at 15. You still okay, that's great. You ain't never tried to do nothing else? Just that. You never left? Oh, you still stay on the same street? You still in the same hood? Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, I'm never gonna insult you. Like you never took a chance to do nothing different. You don't have no story to tell. And when people don't take a chance, guess what? They be stuck in that same. I'm gonna give an example. Somebody that I knew back in the day, their memory was still in high school because they had never gone past that. And what I mean by that is he had come to college with me, but then he stopped. So his memory though of the friends and the things that we did and all that type of stuff, every time I came back, because I was in a different environment, I was doing different things. He thought I was acting funny or being bougie because I don't remember that anymore. I don't remember it. I don't remember what happened when I walked in the classroom in the ninth grade. I don't remember because my environment has changed. Old things have passed away. All things have become new. I'm doing things differently now. I'm enjoying this chapter of my life, and I'm continuously writing my story because I refuse to stay stuck and stagnated because I know that I was born for greatness. I know that I can do more, and I want to see what God got for me. We serve a big God, and you mean that you gotta stay stuck in one spot? We can't even imagine because all the things that God has for us to see, we'll never probably see it in this lifetime. But I want to get a glimpse of it.
Yeah,
I don't
as
want to
much as
be
possible.
I don't want to be talking about, and I'm definitely not interested in nobody preaching to me about something in the Bible when I can go and see the Bible. When I go see it for myself. I don't want to talk about a history book. Why not be able to take your kids places that's in the history books to see if them people lying to you? If they still lying,
Hmm.
we got to change our environment. We got to come
Hmm.
out of an old mindset. We got to come out of a place of fear. And I'm gonna just say this too. Church folks don't crucify me, but church folks love to preach on fear. And God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. But then you stay stuck and fearful to do things differently. Stay stuck and fearful to take a chance on life, knowing that if you seek Him, if you ask Him, if you lean not to your own understanding, if you acknowledge Him in all His ways, if you apply the principles, because the book of Proverbs, that's some bad stuff. See,
It
but people
is.
want to preach and
Hmm.
teach, but they don't really apply and live it. You can't
Hmm.
just tell me no. When I came to Christ, I was like, okay, here I am, God. I got a lot of questions, and I need you to show me some things
Hmm.
because I wanted different, and I was open to a different environment, and the newness that I have gotten now is just mind blowing.
Hmm.
Only because environment change. If my environment had stayed the same, I would be in a place of depression and stagnation. I would be in a place of guilt and shame. I would be in a place where I'd probably be out of my mind because I would have grieved myself to death. I would have thought that I wasn't worthy or worth moving and doing anything different. But because God, even when I didn't feel like it,
Hmm.
because it didn't feel good, I still followed God. It didn't feel good, but I followed Him. And
Hmm.
so now my climate has changed, and I see that He's giving beautiful ashes. I see that my latter days have become greater than my former. I see that the principles are working on my behalf. And it ain't for me to give away, and I'm not bragging about it because you can get yours too. You can get yours too. But
Hmm.
that's all I got. Throw that baton to you. I know
Well,
you
you
ain't playing no
sure
time.
had a lot. That's all you got.
And I did. And if you wanted
Okay.
to get off,
But so what I'm supposed to do? Catch it? You say you throwing it.
it probably hit you in the head. You wouldn't have caught it. Because she ain't played not one sport. See, this is the type of arguing back and forth we do. Miss Vanessa, you gonna have to be a referee, blow a horn or something, because I be hit on the head with the baton.
The
Now,
pop
see, I
poppers.
this
So,
fish.
but no, but as we close this thing up, I agree with my sister. A lot of times it's where people they say that they believe or they because this is my thing when I talk to my ladies, because y'all know my company name is Ladies of Faith Over Fear. When you truly have faith, you are gonna do that thing and you have faith that is gonna work out in your favor. You have faith that God is going to fight on your behalf. You have faith that what God said He's going to do, it is going to happen, even though you can't see it, even though there's no physical evidence of that thing happening and manifesting in the moment. That's true faith. And a lot of people do not have true faith. They say I have faith, but true faith is when you walking in that thing, when everything look crazy, is all outdoors. That's what true faith is, right? And I've been in seasons. I'm in a season where true faith is where you
Yep.
have to really exemplify true faith, right? And so that's the thing where people have to really their belief process has to be stronger. And that happens when you have a stronger relationship with God. And just like my sister Toya said, when you hit 40, for me, it was when I hit 42, I had a realization like something got to change. I'm just like Toya. I've been in church my whole life, 7 days out the week almost in church, right? But I became a church goer and not a person that had a relationship with God. And so we're going to wrap it up. And that's going to be our next episode where you really understand that it's a difference of going to church versus having a relationship and understanding who you are, who your creator is, and operating in the principles that's inside of the Bible. Because when you do that and operate on the principles from the Bible, you will see your life totally change. And I am not the same woman that I was 4 years ago, 3 years ago when I hit 40, right? Or even, 6 months ago. I'm a totally different woman 6 months ago. And that's where personal growth and development and continue to pour into yourself, your mindset, and your overall body. It has to happen in order to see something different. And that's the thing. People don't want to believe in God big enough, and they don't want to believe in themselves as well. They're scared. They don't have true faith. That's what it is. They have surface level faith, but they don't have true faith. Yep. So that's all we got for y'all tonight. So I did put the link in the comments. Please make sure y'all go follow us. We are on Facebook until we get up to 50 subscribers on our YouTube channel, where we can go live on YouTube, and we can definitely continue to be uncut because we're not going to do any cussing or anything like that. We're just going to be raw. Raw, because what did you say, sister? You cannot cuss and bless somebody out the same mouth, okay?
Lord made me
Okay.
read the book of James twice. So for those are for the we for the kingdom. I'm for the kingdom for real. For the
Yes.
kingdom
Yes.
God. And
Yes.
so, yeah, but my personality, some of y'all don't know my personality, I bring a little bit of comedy with me. So but I study my Bible and no, we're not gonna curse. We're gonna keep it real and raw. We're gonna keep it real. For me, I am gonna be real. We're not gonna sit here and be boring and looking at y'all like we some mannequins and stuff like that. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about things that you all probably been thinking. I'll say the stuff that people been thinking. You thinking I'm gonna speak it. But yeah, God had me read the book of James twice, and the book of James is something that'll just way out. See, God had to deal with me differently. God has brought me down a path where He's like, okay, this one, I got her. Don't worry about it. I got her. And so that's who I follow. So y'all, thank y'all for your time. Thank you for tuning in. It's 10:35 Central Standard Time. Y'all probably got your bonnets on and laying in the bed, eyes closed. Don't let that phone hit you in the face because you're watching. And you tired. Y'all.
That part, because that's what I'm ready to go do. Go put this bonnet on, get in the bed, and take these contacts out, put my glasses on, and call it a night.
Been drinking. I'm up. It's time for me to go to bed. My bedtime is 10 o'clock. But I've been up. Like I said, probably up till 12 o'clock. I might as well do something in here. I'm gonna go fold my clothes or something because of that doggone tea.
Girl, I
Anyway,
don't know about you, because I'm drinking that tea right now. And we get off this thing, I'm going to go get in my bed and I'm going to sleep. Okay? It's going to let me go to sleep. Okay?
I'll be in here listening to my neighbors,
You better
entertain
pray. You
their
don't want to
people.
listen to them.
Girl, but anyway, it's time to go. Let's keep it. I don't have time for them because I can't even look at them people. Because I just want to say, yeah, like that lady on Brewster's Place, I seen you. Just nasty. You forgot to close your shades. I heard you. I'm tired of the people, girl. Anyway, good night. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you've had fun on tonight. We hope that you tune in and click the link, subscribe. If you a hater, don't worry about it. If you a peeker and don't speaker and a non-speaker, that's fine. But for those of y'all that fool with us, that like us, you see what we got going, and you know that we real and raw with it, and you want to comment with us, please subscribe. Help us get to 50, please. We're gonna play that song,
I can't hear you. Your thing going out. So I guess we ain't supposed to hear that song. Sing the song again.
That song when they trying when they begging, "Yo, so-" you can't
I
hear me
don't know.
still?
No, I can't. I
Oh,
can't.
it's probably your phone. But anyway, if she live in a raggedy area, end the call. Thank you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I don't want. I have to add things to my list every night of prayer. Let's end this thing.
Yes. Right, you guys. Make sure y'all follow us, and we will see you on the next episode of Unfiltered Tea with Citi and Cheryl. We love you guys. We'll see you guys on our next episode.